Okay, I have hit everything. I believe I've done everything correct.
Yeah, the light's green.
Oh, I can't even see
Yeah,
it.
it's good.
Okay, Kaylee says the light is green.
It's getting further than it was. So it's verifying live transition.
The only thing is it's not blinking red up here.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is.
Oh, now it is.
Okay. See that part?
Looks like we're good.
Maybe.
It wasn't doing that before.
I just don't want to walk away and then have it do the same
Let me
thing.
do this.
You want to check?
I'm gonna go to YouTube and see if I can see it on something else.
Yeah, we're checking here too.
It's like 4 minutes on the clock.
3:18. Yeah.
About a minute behind you. I mean, it looks fine. I
Okay.
can see the game happen.
Okay.
What's happening? All right, let it happen.
Yeah.
For
All right,
Yep,
let it run.
that's good.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I will.
All right,
Thanks.
have fun, guys.
All right.
Something happens, just start screaming and smashing the window, and then I'll come back.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep. It's good.
What was wrong?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we rebooted the computer and restarted production truck, and then the first time it didn't work, and then the second time it did.
Oh,
so,
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Technology.
Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside Royal Brown Pavilion in Seattle, Washington. I'm Greg Sexton, and you're watching SPU Volleyball. Tonight, the Falcons take on the St. Martin Saints just down the road in Lacey. Made the short trip up to Seattle. We are going to start with the national anthem here, and we'll get you some further information. And again, welcome inside Royal Broham Pavilion in Seattle. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Falcons have clinched at least a share of the GNAC title. They come in with a record of 14-2 in conference, 20-4 overall. It's been a wildly successful season for Jason Ryan in his second year. And the Falcons, if they, and I don't want to jinx them, but if they are able to win this one tonight, they will actually have a trophy presentation following the match. But the St. Martin Saints, perfectly capable of spoiling that, and they have a solid team this year. 16-10 overall, 9-7 in the GNAC. They are currently in 5th place in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. And really this has been a one-sided series between these two teams, but St. Martin's did get a win in March of 2020, the fall 2020 season, due to the COVID pandemic. But Falcons all-time 64-6 against the Saints. But the Saints really have had a competitive year this year, and trying to at least finish 5th and maybe climb up into 4th place. Potentially in the GNAC, as we'll get you the other matchups from around the conference later on. But as I mentioned, Jason Ryan in his second year as the head coach of the Falcons, Dan Benke in his 4th year as the coach of the Saints, and this is his best year so far. As Saints actually with several players that are putting up good numbers, as we will get you the coaches shaking hands there. We'll get you the lineups here shortly, as the libero for the Falcons is Christina Lopez. The lineups were just announced, but up here it's I'm not hearing clearly, so we'll see who I'll confirm here in a second who comes out on the court. But for the Falcons, typically, their starting lineup is going to feature Sarah Brockvogel, Allison Wilkes, Hannah Hare, Emily Tolino, Aaron Smith, Christina Lopez, as I mentioned, the libero, and Zoe Schuckert is getting the start tonight as well. So those are your starting lineups for the Falcons, and it'll be Hannah Hare that will come out. Lopez will rotate in for her to start the match. And for the Saints, it's going to be Kayla May, Emmy Hansen, Maddie Gooding, Serena Pareto up front, and Jennifer Soha. And it'll be Carla Soto to serve to begin the match. And Soto's going to serve. And here comes the libero, Abby Halstead, coming in for Jennifer Soha to start the match. So it'll be Soto to serve, She's a senior out of Nogales, Sonora, Mexico. And her first serve, and there is Allison Wilkes with a spike and the kill back onto the St. Martin's side, and the Falcons take a quick 1-0 lead. And it'll be Allison Wilkes to serve as Hannah Hare rotates back in up front. Hannah Hare leading Division II in blocks per set. And Wilkes and Hare both came in kind of in that class where their first season was that spring 2021 season. There's Brock Vogel with a spike in the kill, and it's 2-0 Falcons. Brock Vogel in that class too, and there's actually 6 players on the Falcons that are listed as seniors but are not going to be honored on senior day this year. Wilkes serves that one well long, and it's out of bounds. 2-1 Falcons over the Saints here early on in the first set as Emily Garton comes in up front for the Saints, and it'll be Pareto to serve. Pareto from just down the road in Tacoma, kind of about halfway really between these two schools. This is Aaron Smith with a spike in the kill, and the Falcons have been able to set up some good swings so far in this one. They've had 3 kills with a lot of momentum behind them, as Sophia Chambers, freshman from Justin, Texas, will rotate in and serve. Maddie Pruden will rotate in up front as well. This is Pareto with the dig. And sending it over for the kill is Emmy Hansen as it's blocked out of bounds. And the Saints back within a point at 3-2. Here comes Soha back in up front. And it'll be Maddie Gooding to serve with the count at 3-2. Lopez the dig. And a set there for Hare, but the Saints able to keep this one alive. Pareto volleys it back over. This will be Pruden. And Pareto there for the dig again. Sent over by Garton. Brock Vogel sends it back and lands it on the St. Martin's side. That'll make it 4-2 as Sydney Perry will come in for Zoe Schucker. And Sarah Brockvogel will serve with the Falcons ahead 4-2 here in the first set. St. Martin's coming off a loss to Western Washington on Saturday. They're able to keep it alive. Here's Hare again. And again, the Saints keep it alive. This is Garton, and she's blocked by Hannah Hare. And the Falcons take the lead 5-3. Looks like we're back live here. Apologize for the technical difficulties, but Falcons with a 5-3 lead, and Christina Lopez, the libero, to serve. This is going to be an ace for Lopez, as Hansen with the dig there, but unable to get it set up to a teammate, and the Falcons with a 6-3 lead on the ace by Christina Lopez. She'll serve again. This time a good dig by Hansen, and Perry blocks it out of bounds, so it's a kill for Jennifer Soha. Soha, a junior out of Henderson, Nevada in the Las Vegas area. As this is going to be a serve and an ace for Emily Garton. She has that serve where she tosses it high into the air and gets a lot of momentum behind it. A lot of times you'll just see a little toss. That one is going to be an ace as Brockvogel ducked out of the way there, and the ball landed in bounds. As they were, Falcons were trying to just let that one go, and it didn't. It landed in. Garton will serve again. And that one into the net. So definitely more of a line drive type serve from Emily Garton there. But she recorded 2 aces. You'll take 2 aces and 1 service error. As Falcons now with a 7-6 lead. Emily Tolino back in to serve as Aaron Smith checks in with her. Soto puts it up for Soha, and that one is going to go out of bounds, and it'll be a point for the Falcons. 8-6 your score here in set number 1. Tolino to serve again. Both Emily Tolino and Aaron Smith from Carlsbad, California. And Soto tried to volley that one back over as the Saints chased it down, but Soto was not able to get it back over. And it's a 9-6 score now. Falcons by 3 here in the first set. Tolino sends it over. The dig by May. And Pareto puts it over and puts it out of bounds. That's going to be a point for the Falcons. It is 10-6. And Dan Benke is going to take his first time out of the first set here. The Falcons have scored the last 4 to take a 10-6 lead here in the first set. We'll be right back on the SPU webcast in just a moment. Ten-6 Falcons here midway through the first set, or starting to get midway through the first set, as the Falcons with the last 4 points scored here in the set, breaking a 6-6 tie. And Falcons, as we mentioned, a chance to clinch the GNAC title outright. They already have sewn up an NCAA tournament berth, the GNAC's automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. And that is due to them having the tiebreaker over Central Washington. Falcons have beaten Central Washington twice this year. And they're the only team that has an opportunity to catch up to the Falcons at this point. Aaron Smith has that one blocked. And it goes out of bounds. It'll be a point for the Falcons. And that'll make it 11-6. Emily Tolino still serving. But the Falcons, as I mentioned, have sewn up the GNAC's automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Tolino with an ace off the hands of Kayla May. And it is now 12-6. Falcons by 6. Tolino to serve again. May with a clean dig this time. Soto sets it up for Pareto, and Brockvogel sends it back over. Aaron Smith right there at the net to dump it back over. And the Falcons take the lead 13-6 now. 7 in a row scored by SPU. Tolino will serve it again. That one, the dig there by Halstead. And this one ends up going back over. And St. Martin's takes the point and breaks the 7-point run by the Falcons. As Jennifer Soha will serve now for St. Martin's. 13-7 now. Soha's serve is very different than Garton's serve, as Soha really has not very much motion at all. That one blocked up front by Maddie Gooding. She's a senior out of Renton, Washington, just south of Seattle here. Soha will send it over again. Lopez the dig. Tolino sets it up behind her for Perry. And the Saints will return it. Here's Perry again. Down the line, inbounds. Good spike there by Perry, and she directed it well into the corner. And registers the point and the kill for the Falcons before checking out. Zoe Schuckert will come in and serve. 14-8 is the score. And Halstead with the dig. This is going to be Gooding sending it over. Brockvogel returns it. Soto cross court set for Pareto, and that's going to be a kill for Serena Pareto. 14-9. As the Saints will get the serve back, it'll be Soto to do the honors. Carlos Soto, the only player in the GNAC to average double figures in assists per set. As Brockvogel sends it over, and it's tipped, and it'll be a point for the Falcons. As that one was deflected by the Saints. It's 15-9, Falcons with the lead. Soto averaging 10.39 assists per set. And just for comparison, Emily Tolino leads the Falcons with 5.54, so almost double. But Tolino kind of a part-time setter along with Sophia Chambers. And so they both are going to rack up a few assists per set, as that one's sent over by Smith. And the Falcons back in front by 7, 16-9. And Allison Wilkes serving now for SPU. And that one is going to be an ace as it's off the hands of Halstead. And Pareto wasn't unable to do anything with it. Dan Benke will take another timeout here. With the score 17-9 in set number 1. Falcons in front, trying to take the first set here. We will be right back on the SPU webcast in just a moment. Falcons lead it by 8 as we welcome you back inside Royal Brougham Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. And Allison Wilkes remains on serve for the Falcons. Allison Wilkes leading the GNAC in hitting percentage at .421 coming into this match. And trying to become the first 400 hitter for a season in Falcons history. As Soto at the net. And Hare will send it back. Sent back over by Hansen. And now Aaron Smith gets to it. Brockvogel sends it over, and that one is going to be another point for the Falcons as Sarah Brockvogel comes up with the kill. Brockvogel leading the Falcons in kills per set at 3.37 coming in. But Allison Wilkes coming in with a .421 hitting percentage. This one is out of bounds. It'll be a service error. The hitting percentage, of course, not based on serves, but just the total attacks, kills versus errors. As Hannah Hare sends it over again, and that one right in between Gooding and Hansen, who were unable to block it. And the Falcons now up by 9. Chambers and Pruden will come back in. So the Falcons, with Senior Day coming up on Saturday, they will be honoring 3 seniors. And those would be Brianna Ingram, Sarah Day, and Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith is out there as a regular for the Falcons. Day and Ingram really have not seen a ton of action. But the Falcons are going to have their core back next year using that extra year of eligibility that they were granted due to the COVID pandemic. As we'll see what happens between this year and next. There's a spike and a kill there by Emily Garton. And that'll make it 19-11. That was a long rally there. But the Saints come away with the point. And Maddie Gooding will serve. But presumably Brock Vogel will be back. Hare, Wilkes, and let's see here. Maddie Pruden, Zoe Schuckert, Sydney Perry. None of them are going to be honored on Saturday, so assuming that they do use that extra year of eligibility, they will be able to. This one is off the hands of Chambers into the stands, and the Saints take the point. They get back within 6 at 19-13. And now Jason Ryan wants to take a timeout and talk things over. So we'll step aside again here on the SPU webcast. Falcons lead the first set by 6, 19-13. We'll be right back. Back inside Royal Broome Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Falcons by 6 here in the first set, 19-13. Saints have scored the last 3, so Jason Ryan wanted to kind of take a pause and talk things over. Trying to keep the momentum on the Falcons side. As Brock Vogel the dig, and Hannah Hare spikes it over, but the Saints able to keep it alive. Sent back over by Emily Garten for the kill. Hare looked like she had a kill there, but Saints able to keep that one alive and return it. And it's now 19-14. Or is it? They have not put the point on the scoreboard. And yeah, now they have. As Hansen sends it over, and it ends up out of bounds. And it'll be a Falcons point here, as Sydney Perry will check in for Zoe Schuckert. Coming up here, as waiting for the official to acknowledge the substitution there. Sarah Brockvogel will serve with the Falcons up by 6, 20-14. Soto gets to it, and it's blocked out of bounds. It's going to be a point for the Saints as Emily Garten sent it over. Falcons blocked it out of bounds. It's 20-15. As coming in now, Tahani Yamashita, freshman from Aiea, Hawaii. And she comes in to serve with the score now 20-15. Here's Chambers setting it up for Pruden, and she's blocked. Soha and Garten at the net to block that one back, and the Saints back within 4. 20-16. This first set is not over. As Yamashita will put it into the net this time, and that will make it a 5-point lead again for the Falcons, as Wilkes will come back for Hare and Lopez will serve. Both teams making substitutions. And now Lopez to serve with the count now 21-16. Soto sets it up, and it's spiked out of bounds by Soha. And that'll make it a 6-point margin again for the Falcons at 22-16. Soha a little early on the swing there, and if she was a kicker, you would say she pulled it. That one is blown dead as it hits the floor, and it's going to be an ace for Lopez. So Christina Lopez, freshman out of Surprise, Arizona, taking over as the libero for the Falcons kind of mid-season. And she's really having a good freshman year. And she'll come up with another set there, actually, for Perry. And now this one hits the antenna, and it's going to be a Falcons point, as Garton couldn't get it around the antenna. And the Falcons with a set point, leading by 8, 24-16. And Lopez trying to finish off the first set. That one is going to go long, though. So a service error by Christina Lopez, and the Saints will get it back. Still down 7. And it's going to be Emily Garton to serve. Garton, a freshman from Placentia, California. And she sends it over. Here's Pruden sending it back, and that is going to do it for set number 1 as Maddie Pruden registers the final kill of the set. And the Falcons take set number 1 by a count of 25-17. We'll be right back on the SP webcast, coming up with the second set in just a moment. Welcome back inside Royal Burrow Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you. Second set coming up. The Falcons win the first one 25-17. They hit 333 as a team in that first set. The Saints hit 077. And the Falcons with 12 kills to 8 for the Saints in that first set. For the Saints, Emily Garton had 3 kills, 2 aces. And had a block assist in that first set, as 7 assists for Carlos Soto, 4 digs for Pareto, and 3 apiece for Halstead and Soto. And for the Falcons, 4 kills for Sarah Brockvogel, 4 for Aaron Smith, 8 assists for Emily Tolino, 2 block assists for Hannah Hare and Maddie Pruden, and 3 digs, for Schuckert, for Lopez, and 2 for Wilkes digs as well. As we get ready for the second set coming up here. And the Falcons will serve it up with Zoe Schuckert. Puts it over. And Pareto had to adjust in midair. Couldn't quite get to that. Well, actually, she did. She got it over. And the Falcons blocked it back the other way out of bounds. So a good adjustment there by Pareto in midair. And was able to get it back over the net. And this will be Soto serving. for the Saints. Brockvogel there for the dig. Tolino sets it up for Aaron Smith. And now on the other side, Hansen sending it back over. Tolino for Wilkes, and Allison Wilkes comes up with the kill to tie up the first set at 1. Taking a look around the GNAC tonight. Northwest Nazarene is at Western Washington. Western Oregon at Montana State Billings. Western Oregon will be here on Saturday. And Wilkes with the service error there. The Saints go back up 2-1 as Garton will come back in for Kayla May. It'll be Serena Pareto to serve. The Alaska schools playing tonight. Normally when the travel partners play each other, they just play one match, and they do it on a Saturday typically. But the Alaska schools are playing tonight, so they will be off on Saturday. Have a little more time. Anchorage, well, actually, I don't think either of those schools is going to be playing beyond this week. Anchorage in past years, definitely, but taking a step back this year as they are actually in a tie with Fairbanks for 7th place in the GNAC. This will be Maddie Gooding serving. Sophia Chambers will set it up for Hare, and she sends it over. Here's Pareto setting it back up for Hansen. And Pruden will volley it over. Coming to get it is Soha, and sending it back over. Here is Brockvogel now, and that's going to be a kill for Sarah Brockvogel as it's off the hands of Carla Soto. Halstead back in for the Saints and Perry back in for the Falcons. Mentioned the Alaska schools playing tonight. Of course, we have this one here, and Central Washington is at Simon Fraser. Central Washington will be at Western Washington on Saturday to wrap up the season. Those are your 2nd and 3rd place teams, as the Falcons with a point there. 2nd and 3rd place teams right now in the GNAC, as Central Washington right now 12-4, and Western is at 11-5. Falcons at 14-2. They've lost to Western twice, and they're 14-0 against the rest of the conference, including a win over the Saints earlier in the year as Hare blocks that one, but it goes out of bounds. And it'll be 4-4 as Yamashita will come back in for the Saints to serve. So on Saturday, the Alaska schools will be done. This one is a service error out of bounds. But Western Oregon will be here. St. Martin's will be at Billings. And Northwest Nazarene will be at Simon Fraser. Central at Western. Your Saturday slate of matches in the GNAC. Falcons hoping to clinch the GNAC title outright tonight. Perry keeps that one in bounds, and Brockvogel volleys it back over. Here's Garton sending it over, and it ends up off of the floor first, I believe, and then Sophia Chambers put a foot to it. But it is 5-5 now here in the second set. Garton will serve for the Saints. And again, she gets a lot of momentum on that serve. And it's sent back, though, by Pruden. And Pruden lands it in bounds for the kill. Tolino and Smith back in. And Emily Tolino will serve as Kayla May comes back in for the Saints as well. May, a senior from Fairview, Oregon. 6-5 Falcons. They lead by 1 set. Here's Serena Pareto sending it over, and that's going to be a kill as Lopez unable to dig it. And it's 6-6 with Jennifer Soha getting ready to serve. Brockvogel the dig. Tolino will set it up for Sydney Perry, and she'll send it over. This is sending it back is Maddie Gooding, and she lands it in bounds for the kill. And the Saints go up by a point here, 7-6. So Saints hanging around in this second set. Tolino will set it up for Brockvogel, and that one is Soha reaching up to get it, and the Saints able to return it back. Now Wilkes sends it over and sends it just long. And that'll make it 8-6 in favor of St. Martin's. Jason Ryan is, let's see. He is going to challenge the call here, as he thought that one landed in. The officials will, one of the officials anyway, will come over to the scorer's table to take a look at it. As that official on the side near the scorer's table, that's Robin Filimaua. Paul Jensen in kind of the platform on the other side of the net. And your line judges, Leif Anderson and Julie Fawn. 8-6 St. Martin's if the call stands. And they're taking a look at it here. But Falcons winning the first one 25-17. This one so far has been a little more even. And of course, as it stands now, the Saints with a 2-point margin over SPU. As to this point in the match, Falcons hitting at 341, St. Martin's up to 189. They only hit 077 for the first set. $17 kills to 13 in favor of the Falcons. And now we're about to get the verdict here, as it is going to stay with St. Martin's. They did not see anything to overturn it. And I think Jason Ryan maybe was asking if it had been deflected, but it is going to stick. The call is going to stay with St. Martin's, and Jennifer Soha will serve with the Saints up by 2 here in the second set. That one crawls over the net, gets over, and the Falcons return it. Aaron Smith with the kill. That'll make it 8-7. Halstead in for the Saints, and Schuckert in for the Falcons, and she will serve. Zoe Schuckert will. That one didn't hit the floor. It lands in bounds, and Maddie Gooding with a good kill there, hitting it just inside the line. And it's 9-7. Carla Soto will serve. Lopez the dig. Tolino sets it up for Brockvogel, and she spikes it over for the kill. Brockvogel got a lot of momentum behind that swing. And it is now 9-8. As Hannah Hare checking back in up front. And this will be Wilkes serving. Soto sets it up for Gooding. And the Falcons keep it alive. Send it back over. Smith taps it over for the kill as she lands it in bounds. And that'll tie it back up at 9. To this point in the match, Aaron Smith now 6 kills. Sarah Brockvogel has 7 for SPU. Pareto setting it up. Hansen volleys it over. And now Brockvogel sends it back and sends it long. It'll be a point for the Saints. Emily Garton will come in for Kayla May. And the Saints with a 10-9 lead, and Serena Pareto serving. Pareto just a freshman from Tacoma. Here's Hannah Hare spiking it over. And Hannah Hare, the senior out of Walla Walla, Washington, ties it up at 10 as Chambers and Pruden return for the Falcons. And Pareto needing to tie the left shoe there. And she's back ready to go. 10-10 your score. Chambers serving. And this is good and blocked by Brockvogel. And the Falcons take the... no, actually, I thought that it cleared the net on the other side, but it stayed on the Falcons side. And it is a point for the Saints. From my vantage point, some of the balls near the net, difficult to tell which side they land on, as I am not sitting at court side here. Brockvogel, though, coming back and getting the kill that time. And it's 11 apiece here in the second set. Halstead back in. Halstead with the sleeveless white jersey, and the rest of the Saints with the long sleeved red jerseys. This one blocked up front. Hannah Hare right there. And Sydney Perry teaming up with her on that one. And it is 12-11. SPU with the lead. Brockvogel serving. That's going to be an ace as it's off the hands of Emmy Hansen out of bounds. And it is 13-11 now. Falcons by 2. Brockvogel serving again. This time it's Halstead with the dig. And there's a nice set there for Jennifer Soha, who spikes it back over. Saints back within 1, 13-12, as Yamashita will come back in to serve. Yamashita to put it in play. Lopez. And here's Pruden sending it back. Garten taps it over, and Chambers is right there. Perry sends it back. And this one's going to land on the St. Martin's side. That'll be a point for the Falcons. And it is now 14-12. Christina Lopez serving for SPU. As they lead once again by 2, 14-12. This one saved in bounds, and Hansen will send it over. Pruden sends it back, and Hansen there for the dig. Here's Garten, and she's blocked by Wilkes and Pruden. And that one lands in bounds for a Falcons point. 15-12. Dan Benke wants to talk things over with his squad, so he'll take a timeout. Been a competitive second set. Falcons, though, now with a 3-point margin at 15-12. And we'll step aside on the SPU webcast. We'll be right back in just a moment. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast as the Falcons with a 15-12 lead, and they lead the match by a set. As we go here in the second set. And Christina Lopez remaining on serve for SPU. She sends it over. Halstead there for the dig. Soto will set it up for Garten. Lopez got a hand on that one, kept it alive. And now it's blown dead as the Falcons whistled for a double touch. And the Saints back within 2, 15-13. It'll be Emily Garten to serve. Falcons still with a 380 now hitting percentage for the match. Garten sends a laser over the net, and Brockvogel couldn't do anything with it. It's an ace for Garten. Carlos Soto leading the Saints in aces with 56 coming into the match, but Garten now, this one's going to go out of bounds as she gets a lot on that. It is now 16-14 as Tolino and Smith come back in. May will check back in for the Saints as well. And Tolino will serve for the Falcons. Hansen, and now a cross-court set for Pareto, and she sends it long. It's going to be, let's see here. No, actually, Falcons did touch it on the way out, so it'll be a point for the Saints. Maddie Gooding will check back in up front, and Jennifer Soha will serve with the count at 16-15. And the Saints trying to tie this set back up. Perry has to lean back. She's able to get it over. And now Gooding taps it over. Tolino couldn't quite come up with it cleanly on the dive, and it is 16-16. Falcons would love to get this second set and take the momentum here. But the Saints can tie it up at a set apiece. And there's a block by St. Martin's. Gooding there. And it'll be Soha to serve again, with the Saints now leading by a point at 17-16. Really every set critical, but the second set, definitely it's either going to end up 1-1 or it's going to end up 2-0. As here is Pareto sending it back. Perry sends it over for the kill, and the Falcons tie it back up at 17. Halstead back in for the Saints. And it'll be Zoe Schuckert to serve for SPU. Emmy Hansen there for the dig. And here is Pareto with a good spike, but Lopez came up with a dig. This one blocked by Smith and Wilkes. And the Falcons lead it by a point again, 18-17. Falcons now with 5 total blocks to 3 for the Saints. Here's Pareto sending it over. Tolino sets it up for Wilkes, and it's out of bounds. It'll be a point for the Saints, as Wilkes with a rare attack error. Mentioned she's gunning for the first 400 hitting season in Falcons history, but sends that one out of bounds there. This time it's going to be an ace, and the Saints now retake the lead, 19-18, as Carla Soto comes up with the ace. And she leads she's got a boatload of aces for the Saints on the season. Registers her first of this match, now 57 for her. And Brockvogel will send it right back over and tie it back up at 19. Sarah Brockvogel with her 9th kill of the match. And Allison Wilkes serving for SPU as they try to go back in front. Well played second set here by both teams. That one sent over by Pareto, and it lands inbounds. And Lopez will check back in for Wilkes here. Saints lead it by a point, 20-19. Pareto serving. That one catches the net and stays on the St. Martin's side. And so it is now tied at 20 as Chambers and Pruden rotate back in for SPU. Chambers serving. Chambers has gotten, well, there's another service error, so the teams trade service errors, and the Saints retake the lead now. Maddie Gooding will serve. I was going to say, Chambers has gotten a lot of action as a freshman, and so has Christina Lopez. But the Falcons, with a lot of seniors and a lot of them taking advantage of the extra year of eligibility. Here's Lopez setting it up for Brock Vogel, and that one out of bounds. It'll be a point for the Saints. They go up 22-20, and Jason Ryan wants to talk things over. Let's see here. Yes, they do grant him the timeout. 22-20, the Saints trying to get the second set and tie this one up at a set apiece. And Jason Ryan will talk things over with his squad. We'll be right back on the SPU webcast. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SB webcast. 22-20. The Saints with the lead here in set number 2. And it'll be Maddie Gooding on serve as the Saints try to extend their lead to 3 here on this point coming up. Falcons need to string a few together to pull this set out. Definitely could go either way, as that one out of bounds. And a service error from Gooding. She'll check out. Halstead back in. And for the Falcons, Sydney Perry will check back in up front. Sydney Perry, a 6'3" senior out of Cave Creek, Arizona. Not quite a cross court, but to the middle of the court set there for Soha. Soto set her up, and Soha with the kill to give the Saints a 2-point lead again, 23-21. Yamashita will serve for St. Martin's. Lopez with the dig, and Chambers is going to come get it. Perry will volley it over. This will be Soha again with the kill. Back-to-back kills for Jennifer Soha, and the Saints with a set point at 24-21. Yamashita to serve for set number 2. As the Saints trying to send this one to a third set, tied up at a set apiece. Here's Chambers setting it up for Perry. And the Saints keep it alive. There's Pareto spiking it over. Perry sends it back off the hands of Halstead. And Soto sent it back over, but it lands out of bounds. It was a good effort there. Carlos Soto keeping it alive, but sent it out of bounds on the Falcons side. So they're back within 2. And it'll be Christina Lopez to serve. She needs at least 2 in a row here to push it to 24-24. Garten blocked. It's going to go out of bounds, though, and the Saints take set number 2 by a count of 25-22. So a big second set going to St. Martin's here, as that one really changes the trajectory of this match. If the Falcons had been able to pull that one out, they would have been looking at an opportunity for a sweep. But instead, St. Martin's evens it up 1 set apiece. And the Falcons back to the drawing board now as they are trying to get the third one. We will be back with the third set coming up for you after intermission here on the SPU webcast. Stick with us, and we'll be back shortly. Back inside Royal Brome Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you as we get ready to go to the third set here. St. Martin's taking the second one 25-22 after the Falcons won the first one 25-17. And we are ready to begin set number 3. As Carla Soto, 21 assists through the first 2 sets. Mentioned she averages more than 10 per set. This is Sarah Brockvogel, and it's blocked out of bounds. It'll be a point for the Falcons to start off the third set. Hannah Hare will check in up front for SPU. But Carla Soto needs 2 more assists to hit 1,000 for the season. As she's right on that, right close to that average of just over 10 per set. Averaging 10.5 per set here as St. Martin sends that one out of bounds. And it is now 2-0 in favor of SPU as Wilkes will serve again. And Allison Wilkes sending it over. This one sent back, and it's deflected by the Falcons. St. Martin's with the point. Pareto will serve. And the count now 2-1, Falcons here in the third set. As Soto with an assist on the previous point there. But Pareto puts it into the net. Or it'll be Aaron Smith to serve now for SPU. It was, yes, Pareto with the service error there. This will be Gooding getting it around Hare for the point. And a good battle there with Gooding and Hare at the net. And Gooding wins that one. Hannah Hare pretty dominant up front the majority of the time. But Saints now back within a point. And Gooding serving. Chambers sets it up for Hare, and that time Hare with the kill. And that'll make it 4-2 in favor of SPU. Sydney Perry in up front. Sarah Brockvogel to serve. With the count at 4-2 Falcons here in the third set. Teams tied at a set apiece. And Brockvogel saved that one momentarily, but it went around the antenna. And that'll make it 4-3. Yamashita will come back in, Tahani Yamashita, for the Saints as she tries to tie up the third set at 4 apiece. It's whistled dead, and that does tie up the set as the Falcons called for a double touch there, I believe. And that'll make it 4-4. Yamashita to serve again. Lopez the dig there. Here's Hannah Hare, and she's blocked by Soha. Perry will get a crack at it. Yamashita keeps it alive. Hare with the block there, and the Saints unable to return it. So give the point to the Falcons there. 5-4 your score. Emmy Hansen will check in and serve. Actually, no, Emmy Hansen will check in and go to the back line here. Christina Lopez will serve for the Falcons. As a block there up front by Pruden and Wilkes. And the Falcons lead it by 2, 6-4. Lopez will serve again. Hansen there for the dig. Here's Soha spiking it over for the kill. And that'll make it 6-5. St. Martin's back within a point. Jennifer Soha, second in the GNAC in hitting percentage. Allison Wilkes for the Falcons is first. But there's Pruden with the spike in the kill. And she got a lot of momentum behind that left-handed swing. Substitutions for both teams. May will check in for the Saints. Tolino and Smith back in for the Falcons. As the Falcons with a 7-5 lead here in the third set. Tied up, 1 set apiece. Falcons trying to take the third set here. And they would love to get the fourth as well. But 1 set at a time. Here's Smith tapping it over, and a couple of players diving for that one, and Soto sent it back the wrong direction. It is now 8-5 in favor of the Falcons, as Carlos Soto has gone over by a couple. The 1,000 assist mark for her season. Not her career, the season. As Soto really the full-time setter for the Saints. Nobody else is checking in to help her with that. The Falcons, though, with a 9-5 lead. As Carlos Soto now 25 assists for the match and 1,002 for the season. We'll step aside on the SB webcast. 9-5 Falcons with a lead in the third set. We'll be right back. Nine 9-5 Falcons with Emily Tolino serving as we welcome you back inside Royal Brown Pavilion. And the Falcons trying to go back in front in sets as Pareto had that one blocked out of bounds. No, they're going to give the point to the Falcons there. As they said, I believe they said it didn't clear the net. Or it could have possibly been deflected by the Saints on the way back out of bounds. But I believe it did not clear the net. As Perry sends it over. And that one will be another point for the Falcons. A kill for Sydney Perry. And SPU now by 6 here in the third set, 11-5. Trying to open up a bit of a cushion here. And there's a service error by Tolino. Tolino, as Jennifer Soha will serve. Tolino tonight now with 2 aces and 1 service error. Here's Aaron Smith sending it over, and it comes right back to her. It hit the floor, though, on the St. Martin's side, I believe. And they blow it dead. It is a point for the Falcons. It's 12-6. And Zoe Schuckert will serve. Here's Soto with a cross-court set for Pareto. And now Brockvogel sends it back. She's blocked. And it actually stays on the St. Martin's side, though, and it'll be a point for the Falcons. As they did block that one, but didn't clear the net with it. It's 13-6. Schuckert to serve again. Halstead comes up to get it. Here is Gooding sending it back for the kill. As that will make it 13-7. Soto will serve for SMU. Carlos Soto, as I mentioned, leading the Saints in aces. There's Wilkes. She sends it over. And it does not get sent back as the Saints unable to get it back over the net. And Allison Wilkes will serve now. And that'll be an ace off the hands of Halstead. Another point for the Falcons, and it's 15-7. Wilkes with the kill a moment ago, her third of the match. And Dan Benke's going to take a timeout here with the score of 15-7. Falcons opening up a bit of a lead as they lead by 8 now here in the third set. We'll be right back in just a moment on the SP webcast. Back inside Royal Brougham Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SP webcast. 15-7, Falcons lead here in the third set, and Allison Wilkes remains on serve. As Wilkes with now 3 kills and 2 errors in this one, giving her a 143 hitting percentage for this match. But again, she's definitely on track to finish over 400 for the season, as that one is out of bounds. And Wilkes will get another serve here with the count now 16-7. That one's going to land in bounds. It's an ace for Allison Wilkes as the Saints let it go, and it landed in. 10-point lead now for the Falcons here in the third set. And they're going to, I think Dan Benke's going to want them to take a look at this last call here. So, looked like it may have scraped the back line there. And we'll get a review here. As it stands now, the Falcons with a 17-7 lead. Wilkes, as I mentioned, 3 kills, 2 errors tonight, but it's been 3 other Falcons that have hit over 460 in this one. Sydney Perry with 6 kills, no errors, and a 500 hitting percentage. Sarah Brockvogel, 11 kills and just 2 errors and a 474 hitting percentage. And then Aaron Smith, 9 kills, 2 errors, and a 467 hitting percentage. As Falcons trying to go up 2-1 here after a few more points, as they're taking a look on the monitor. Falcons with 8 service aces in this one to 5 for the Saints. Falcons also 8 service errors. Saints with 7 of those. And Falcons with 7 total blocks in this one, all assisted, so 14 block assists for the Falcons. As we get word here, and they are going to say it's the Saints' point, so they do say that it landed out, and it's not an ace for Allison Wilkes, but that'll make it 16-8. And it'll be Serena Pareto to serve for the Saints. Pareto sending it over, and Schuckert there for the dig. Tolino sets it up for Brockvogel, and Pareto's there for the dig. Saints get it back over. Tolino sets it up for Brockvogel again, and that one off the hands of Carlos Soto. And Brockvogel with the kill. And she now has 12 in the match. 17-8. Your score. Aaron Smith serving. Haven't seen a lot of Aaron Smith serving, and that one out of bounds. But Jason Ryan letting her serve some tonight. But she rotates out now as Chambers and Pruden come back in. Maddie Gooding will serve for SMU. Pruden sends it over and lands it. Does she? Yes, she does. They blow it dead. The Saints trying to keep it alive there. But Maddie Pruden with the kill puts the Falcons up by 9. It is 18-9 here. Sarah Brockvogel will serve. And she sends it over. This one spiked over by Emily Garton, and that'll be a point, a kill for Garton and a point for the Saints. And here's Tahani Yamashita checking back in to serve. 18-10, Falcons by 8 here in set number 3. And that one is going to be an ace for Yamashita. As it was Perry that went diving after that one, kind of realizing at the last minute that it was going to be in bounds. This time Brockvogel with the dig. And Pruden sends it back. It's blocked, and it stays on the SPU side. It'll be a point for the Saints. That'll make it 18-12. And serving for the Saints now, Yamashita again. Here's Perry, and that one out of bounds. It'll be another point for the Saints. It's 18-13. As they're trying to work their way back into this set. Yamashita will serve again, but we will have a timeout first. Jason Ryan will talk things over with his squad. And we will step aside here on the SPU webcast. 18-13, Falcons leading in set number 3. We're tied at a set apiece. Back inside Royal Bourne Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Falcons with an 18-13 lead here in set number 3. And discrepancy between the scoreboard and the live stats, but I believe the scoreboard is correct at 18-13. And Yamashita will serve coming out of the timeout. Here's Pruden tapping it over. And it'll be Pareto sending it back. Chambers will set it up for Perry. And there's Pareto right there. A fake set there by Soto, but the Falcons able to return it. Perry sends it over. And she's called for a net violation, I believe, there. And the Saints take another point. Jason Ryan trying to get clarification. on what the call was there. And it is the Saints' point. 18-14. Lopez with the dig. Here's Hannah Hare sending it over, and Pareto there for the dig. Cross-court set by Soto for Garton. And now it'll be back to Perry, and this one will be a kill for Sydney Perry. As the Falcons with a point to get back to a 5-point lead, making it 19-14. Christina Lopez will serve now for the Falcons. And Hansen with the dig. Soto sets it up for Soha, and that one lands out of bounds. That'll be a point for the Falcons. Soha with a good swing on that one, but just landed it out. And that'll be another point for SPU, 20-14 now. As they try to string a few more points together and get go up by a set here again. Pruden sends it over. Good dig there by Pareto. Kept it alive, and it lands in on the block by Wilkes up front. Pruden was there as well. And the Falcons now with a 7-point lead, 21-14. Lopez will serve again. Here's Soto with the set for Soha. Pruden sends it back. Halstead behind her for Garton. And this one at the net. It's going to be on the SPU side. Pruden with another crack at it. It's blocked, though. Chambers with two hands sends it back. Now Garton sends it over for the kill. Good volley, a good rally there, I should say. But Emily Garton ends it with a kill. And the Falcons lead trimmed to 6, 21-15. Garton with the serve there and the ace as the Falcons unable to return it. And it's 21-16. Garton with a ton of power behind that serve. This one, though, into the net. The more power, the more accurate it's got to be. And it'll be Tolino and Smith checking back in for the Falcons. 22-16, they lead it here in the third set. And Tolino will put it in play. Soto with the set for Soha. And that's going to be a kill for Jennifer Soha as the Falcons unable to return it. And Soha will serve now. 22-17. And Soha sends it over. Wilkes this time with the spike and the kill right in the middle. As Wilkes with her fourth kill of the match. And Zoe Schuckert will serve now. 23-17. This one going to land inbounds. It'll be an ace for Zoe Schuckert. And it is now a set point at 24-17 Falcons. Trying to go up 2-1. And Schuckert will send it over. Hansen there for the dig. Soto cross court for Pareto. Smith sends it back. May is there for the dig. Ends up back over the net. Here's Smith again, tapping it over. And Aaron Smith with the kill to end the third set as she just tapped it to an open area. And the Falcons with a 25-17 win here in the third set. They won the first set by that margin as well. Saints got the second one 25-22. But the Falcons with two 8-point set wins here on their home floor. Going for another one coming up in just a moment as we'll return with the fourth set after a short break. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you as the Falcons, with another set here, can end up hoisting a conference championship trophy on their home floor, as Falcons have only lost once at home here. And trying to pull out another one here is Zoe Schuckert, getting ready to serve to start the fourth set in just a moment. Falcons with a 25-17 first set win, and the third set by the same margin, 25-17. Saints took the second one, 25-22. And it'll be Zoe Schuckert serving to start set number 4 here for SPU. Saints need 2 sets here to pull this one out. This will be Sarah Brockvogel, and that one out off of the Saints. And the Falcons take the lead here in the fourth set. 1-0. Sarah Brockvogel with the kill there. And give her 13 for the match. Here's Emmy Hansen. Dive there by Tolino. Gets it back over. Garten sends it over. Tolino sets it up for Brockvogel, and that one right to Carla Soto, and she's unable to handle it. 2-0 Falcons here in the fourth set. Brockvogel another kill, give her 14 for the match. And she's now hitting over 500 as Schuckert will put this one into the net for a service error, and the Saints will get the serve back. 2-1 now. And it'll be Tahani Yamashita to serve. She sends it over. And Wilkes with the set from Tolino. And Wilkes sends it over for the kill. Give Allison Wilkes 5 kills now on the night. And she'll serve, with Falcons up by 2, 3-1 here early in the fourth set. This will be Garten, and she gets it over off the Falcons out of bounds. And it'll be 3-2 now as Emily Garten will serve for the Saints. They're ready for play, and now Garten sending it over. Tolino sets it up for Hannah Hare, and she spikes it over for the kill. And the Falcons lead again by 2, 4-2. Hannah Hare now 4 kills as Chambers and Pruden rotate back in. And Chambers will serve. This one going to go out of bounds. A service error there. And that'll make it 4-3. Jennifer Soha will serve now for St. Martin's as they try to tie the fourth set back up. And Schuckert with the dig there. Hare sending it over for another kill. That'll make it 5-3 Falcons. As Perry will check in for Schuckert. And Brockvogel will serve. Pareto with a set for Soto. Usually the other way around there. That one sent out of bounds. Falcons will take the point. 6-3. The score now in favor of SPU. And it's Brockvogel serving. Soto gets it over. Perry will send it back around the antenna. And now Gooding taps it over the net and onto an open space on the court. Saints will take the point, and Carla Soto will serve. Soto puts it over. Lopez with the dig, and it's off her hands into the stands. So Soto with the ace. Carlos Soto, 31 assists and now her second ace of the evening. She came into the match with 56, so she's got 58 aces now on the season. And over 1,000 assists as well for the season. Here's Chambers with the set for Hare, and it's blocked. Emmy Hansen there with the block for the Saints, and we're tied back up at 6. Soto will serve again. Perry sends it over for the kill. And that will give the Falcons a lead back. Checking on Central Washington and Simon Fraser. Central Washington with the win in 3 sets there. So Falcons just need another set here. And that one blocked by Perry and Wilkes. And that'll make it a 2-point lead again for SPU. Lopez will serve. And as I was saying, the Falcons really just need this this next set here to clinch the GNAC conference title outright. There's Gooding with the spike in the kill for the Saints. And that will get them back to within a point as Garton will check in for Kayla May. And it'll be Serena Pareto to serve. That one catches a little bit of the net. Pruden sends it back. And we get a whistle and the point awarded to the Falcons on a double touch. And it'll be 9-7. Falcons with the lead as Tolino and Smith check back in. Emily Tolino to serve. Falcons by 2, trying to extend the lead. Gooding sends it back, and a good dig there by Brockvogel to keep it alive. Perry is blocked. Brockvogel is there to set it up for Perry, and she sends it back. Halstead for Garton, and that one off the hands of Christina Lopez. It's a kill for Emily Garton. That'll make it 9-8. And Maddie Gooding will serve as the Saints try to tie up the 4th set. Tolino will set it up for Brockvogel. And the Saints keep it alive. Soto with the set for Garton, and she sends it out of bounds. Trying to send it cross court there and land it on the other side, but a little long from what she was trying to do. It is 10-8 now as Zoe Schuckert to serve. And that one crawls over the net for an ace. That'll make it 11-8 as that one hit the net and just went over. This time Halstead with the dig and is blown dead, and the point given to the Falcons. Another double touch called on the Saints. And it is 12-8. Dan Benke going to take a timeout as the Falcons out to a 4-point lead here in set number 4. They're trying to close it out on their home floor. We'll step aside on the SP webcast, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Back inside Royal Brougham Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SP webcast. Falcons lead it by 4 here in the 4th set. And they need 13 more here to win this set and win the GNAC outright. As they will do a trophy presentation following the match, should they hang on here. Zoe Schuckert serving, and Halstead has that one go off her hands into the Saints bench. As Maddie Gooding played it, but she wasn't in the match. So another ace for Zoe. She'll send it over again. Garten this time sending it over. Lopez a good dig. Brockvogel sends it back. And now Garten with another crack at it. Lands it inbounds this time. And Falcons may have wanted to have that one looked at. I think they're going to let it go, as may have just hit the line, but ruled inbounds. And now coming in to serve is Tiffany Lamb, freshman from Frisco, Texas. Brockvogel sends it over and registers the kill. And the Falcons lead it now by 5 again, 14-9. Allison Wilkes to serve. Wilkes sends it over. Halstead with the dig, and this one's going to end up in the scorer's table, as that'll be a point for the Saints, 14-10. Emily Garten will serve. And Schuckert there for the dig. Brockvogel sends it over, and they keep it alive. Brockvogel thought she had a kill, but Saints kept it off the floor. Here's Brockvogel again with another crack at it. This time, no doubt about it, it's a kill for Sarah Brockvogel. And it is 15-10 as the Saints rotate Kayla May rather, not to be confused with Carla Soto. The Falcons will rotate in Chambers and Pruden, and Sophia Chambers will serve. "12 kills for Emily Garten to lead St. Martin's, and 16 for Sarah Brockvogel to lead SPU. There is Pareto with the spike in the kill. And that'll make it 15-11 as Gooding checks back in up front. And it'll be Abby Halstead to serve. Halstead, a junior out of San Antonio, Texas. A couple of Texas natives on the Saints roster. That one off of Halstead's hands, though. And Brockvogel another kill. Perry will check in up front for SPU. They lead by 5 as we're getting past the halfway point of this 4th set, but Brockvogel sends that one into the net. And it is now 16-12 as Carla Soto will serve for SMU. Soto puts it into the air and sends it over for the ace. Falcons unable to return it. And Soto with her 3rd ace of the evening. (16-13). Chambers with a good set for Hare, and she lands it inbounds for the kill. And the Falcons go back up by 4 as Hare will check out. Wilkes in up front. And Christina Lopez to serve. 4-point lead for the Falcons. And that one crawls over the net for an ace for Christina Lopez. That one really sat up there for a minute and just went over. And the Falcons with a 5-point lead. 18-13. Lopez this time clears it a little more. No, the net did not impact the flight of the ball that time. Here's Maddie Gooding sending it back. Good dig there by Chambers. Perry sends it over, and Sydney Perry with the kill. And the Falcons with a 6-point lead at 19-13. Dan Benke going to take a timeout. And we will step aside here on the SPU webcast. Falcons can taste it. They're about to clinch the GNAC conference title. We will be right back in just a moment. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. 19-13, Falcons lead it here in the fourth set. And a win here would clinch the GNAC title outright. As SPU 14-2 in conference play. They have beaten everyone except for Western Washington, has gotten the better of them twice. Hansen sends it over for the kill. And that'll make it 19-14. Saints still down 5 with Serena Pareto serving. Falcons needing 6 more points here to finish this one off. That one off the net, and Chambers keeps it alive. Gooding and Wilkes is there to block that one back. Here's Garten tapping it over. Chambers is there. Lopez will set it up for Brockvogel, and another kill for Sarah Brockvogel. Sarah Brockvogel, senior out of Mukilteo, Washington. And it'll be Emily Tolino and Aaron Smith checking back in. And Sarah Brockvogel having a night. 18 kills now. And a .552 hitting percentage for Brockvogel. 6-point lead for SPU as Tolino serves. Here's Garten sending it back, blocked. Back on the St. Martin's side. Here is Hansen, and she's blocked as Perry and Wilkes were there. And the Falcons take another point, and it's 21-14. Falcons closing in on their first conference championship in 12 years. Gooding sends it over. And Perry now hit it twice, but it knocks it out of bounds, so it'll be a point for the Saints. And that'll make it 21-15. Gooding will serve for St. Martin's. Tolino with the set for Wilkes. St. Martin's gets it back over. Here's Wilkes again, and Soto there for the dig. Garten sends it over the front line, and it's a kill for Emily Garten, and a point for the Saints. They make it 21-16. And Maddie Gooding will serve. Tolino, cross-court set. They're going to call her for a double touch. And the Saints will take another point. 21-17. And Jason Ryan wants to talk things over, trying to get his team focused on the final 4 points here in this fourth set. We will have it have the conclusion of the fourth set coming up for you in just a moment on the SP webcast. Back inside Royal Brougham Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Maddie Gooding serving for the Saints as the Saints try to put a run together here and force a fifth set. Falcons 4 points away from a fourth set win. That one ends up blocked out of bounds, and it's going to be a point for the Falcons. Zoe Schuckert will check back in for Sydney Perry, and the Falcons now up 22-17. Schuckert will serve. Halstead there with the dig. Cross-court set there for Hansen. She dumps it over. But the Falcons there to return it. This one ends up another point for SPU as the Saints tried to send it back over, but it went out of bounds. And now the Falcons 2 points away as Schuckert serves again. Here's Soha sending it over. Tolino sets it up for Brockvogel. Pareto there. And now Soha with another crack at it. This is Brockvogel sending it back. She's blocked. Smith will volley it over. And this will be Soha again. Brockvogel sending it back, and it goes long, out of bounds, and it'll be a point for the Saints. As it'll be Tiffany Lamb coming back in, freshman from Frisco, Texas. It's 23-18. And Lamb right on that end line just takes a step and puts it over, but Allison Wilkes with the kill. Hannah Hare will check in, and Allison Wilkes will serve for the match and the conference championship. 24-18. Anna Wilkes getting ready to put it in play, and does. Here's Soto setting it up for Garton, and the Saints prolong the match another point. It's 24-19. Emily Garton will get to serve. Throws it into the air and spikes it over the net and off the hands of Zoe Schuckert for an ace. 24-20. Falcons just needing one more here. And this one with some crazy spin on it. Falcons able to handle it though. Lopez put it up in the air and nobody was there to collect it. And it's another point for the Saints. It is 24-21. As Garton will serve it again. And Jason Ryan is going to use his other timeout. 24-21 here in set number 4. We'll step aside on the SPU webcast. We are right back in just a moment. Back inside Royal Brougham Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you as we come back from the timeout. And Emily Garton will serve. Falcons with a chance, with a match point here, a chance to clinch the GNAC. As Lopez the dig here. Tolino sets it up for Aaron Smith. And it's blocked. Hare, and now Brockvogel is blocked, and the Saints another point. And they get back to within 2. Garton will serve again. Saints have scored the last 3. And Garton sends it over again. Schuckert, the dig. Here's Hare spiking it over. Hansen gets to it. And Halstead will volley it over. Tolino for Hare. And that one's going to come over on the other side of the net. Across the antenna, the Falcons have clinched the GNAC conference title for the first time since 2011. Falcons win the conference, and they win tonight's match in 4 sets. They win the 4th set by a count of 25-22 as they win it in 4 over St. Martin's. And they go to 15-2 here in GNAC conference play, and they have clinched the conference outright. Trophy presentation coming up shortly. As the Falcons with the win in 4 sets, they get it done 25-17, 22-25, 25-17, 25-22. And the final kill there by Hannah Hare. Sarah Brockvogel tonight with 19 kills in the match. Emily Garton had 14 for the Saints. And the Falcons gathering as they're passing out conference championship t-shirts and hats. If this was basketball, of course, they'd be cutting down nets here, but they're not going to cut down the volleyball net. But the Falcons celebrating just 1 loss on their home floor this year. They're now 7-1 here at home. And some video and photography here as here comes the trophy. It's the 2023 GNAC Conference Championship Trophy for the Seattle Pacific University Falcons. As they're all wearing the hats and they celebrate with the trophy. Falcons win it. They get it done here on their home floor. And they will be in the NCAA tournament. We already knew that. But they clinched the conference title outright. And they go to now to 15-2 in conference play. And now everybody coming over to get some photos here. Falcons win the 4th set by a count of 25-22. Saints made it interesting. The Falcons had a good lead there. And the Saints got back into it, got within 2, and the Falcons get the final point of the 4th set to win it by a count of 25-22. They're going to celebrate tonight. They will be back here on Saturday for Senior Day at 1 p.m. It'll be a 1 p.m. first serve against Western Oregon. As Falcons with the clinch of the conference title once again. Let's take a look at some stats from the match. As the Falcons for the match hit 339 as a team, 55 assists for SPU, and they register 56 kills, 55 digs for the Falcons as a team. as they play We Are the Champions here at Royal Brougham. St. Martin's with 14 kills from Emily Garton, 8 apiece from Serena Pareto and Maddie Gooding. And Carla Soto had 36 assists and 3 aces to go with 3 block assists in this one. As 12 digs for Pareto to lead the way in that category for the Saints, but they fall short in 4 sets. The Falcons, led by Sarah Brockvogel, with 19 kills tonight. Aaron Smith had 11. And Smith ended up actually leading the Falcons in hitting percentage at .474. Brockvogel, a couple of attack errors late in that set to drop down to .441 for the match. Still very solid. And Allison Wilkes hits .308 as well. So 32 assists for Emily Tolino. And Allison Wilkes with 5 block assists. Hannah Hare had 4. And Maddie Pruden had 5 as well. 15 digs for Christina Lopez, 11 for Sophia Chambers. And the Falcons fans and parents celebrating on the court now as they hold up that trophy one more time and pose for some more pictures. Falcons have won the GNAC, and they will be heading to the NCAA tournament. We will the selection show will be on Monday for the Division II tournament, and so we will not know exactly where they're going to be playing their first the West Regional. Basically, they will, if they can get through the West Regional, the Elite 8 is actually going to be on the East Coast in Pennsylvania, but the West Regional, of course, will be possibly here, but looking like San Bernardino may end up hosting the West Regional. But still some volleyball left to be played. Falcons will close out their season on Saturday. Western Oregon will be here for a 1 p.m. first serve. Saturday's going to be a busy day here at Royal Brougham Pavilion because after the volleyball match, there will be a basketball doubleheader, part of the GNAC Pac West Challenge. But basketball just getting going. Volleyball getting down to the end of things here, and the Falcons are going to be playing in the postseason in the NCAA tournament. A location to be determined. One more to go here on Saturday against Western Oregon. We'll have it for you on the SP webcast as 3 seniors will be honored: Brianna Ingram, Sarah Day, and Aaron Smith. They will be the 1 p.m. first serve. Come back for that one on Saturday. We will wrap up things here on the broadcast tonight as Falcons clinch the GNAC title, their first since 2011. Have a good night. We'll talk to you on Saturday.